everybody, Selena here from 6 Degrees. So excited to collaborate with The Signal on this Selena Thomas HR Guru podcast. The Signal has provided a platform for small businesses and their voice to be heard. On this first episode for Thanksgiving, I had the pleasure and opportunity to speak to two staples in our community, the owners of Thelma's Cafe and the owners of La Cocina Restaurant. It was such an honor to speak to both families and to hear their stories directly, their perspectives of what it's been like to work through COVID-19 as restaurant owners. In this episode, ironically titled Thankful, both families share the ups and downs of this journey and, of course, their commitment and dedication to this community. I was honored to hear them share that they worked diligently to keep their employees and their customers happy. Their sacrifices to be commended, and I'm honored to be able to share in my first episode their stories. Hope you enjoy. Talk soon. Hey everyone, Selena here. I'm so excited to be with Amador Lopez, the owner and patriarch of the Lopez family and founder of La Cocina Restaurant and a staple of Santa Clarita for 28 years. How are you doing, Amador? I know we're outside and we're socially distant. How are you doing?
I'm good, Selena. Thank you for
And so obviously you made the changes. We're here under a tent and we still got people here. So how are you feeling about the changes? I know you're excited to still be open, but how are you feeling?
Well, things are being a little tough, but we're trying to do as best we can to keep our customers happy and to come back and see us again.
Now with another son of Amador's, can you tell us who you are? And of course, you're now an owner of a third franchise of the company.
That is correct. I'm responsible for the Golden Valley. My name is Carlos Lopez. I'm the youngest kid, the middle of the two, the youngest of the two boys, middle of the three, I'm sorry.
Nice. And so you had your restaurant prior to COVID for how long?
We opened September 5th, 2016, right before the elections. So we started right in the beginning of all this madness.
And how was business before COVID?
Business was picking up. We try to work as family. Everyone works together. Everyone's a team around here. No one's bigger, no one's better. No one's smaller, no one's lesser. Try to provide more opportunities. By working together, we give a good ambiance. People come back, they love it. We become friends with them. Sometimes some of our own patrons could offer our guys what we can't offer them just at this precise moment. We push them, go seek better. As friends, as a community, now that we have to let people go, not our fault. It breaks hearts. Some people don't understand how business is, just because we sometimes work more with the heart than business-wise. But it's just been heartbreaking, as I said. It's been very tough, and to be in the clouds, not knowing what's going to happen tomorrow, who's going to go,
The uncertainty, sure.
Nothing.
Yeah.
It's hard.
And I think what we talked about a little bit before you arrived with your dad and your brother was, despite that, you're thankful and you're grateful because as a staple in this community, you guys have had several families that have just been committed to making sure that they continue to come to La Cocina, support not just what you guys have built here, but other small businesses. How does that make you feel?
Very appreciative, very, just beyond words. The community has helped us grow, helped us all just do better for ourselves, learn new things of life. This community has been the best thing ever. It's been easy to do business here because the people have been so great, so helpful, so understanding. They fight with us when we have to fight. They cry with us when we have to down.
Wow, that's beautiful.
It's beautiful when they're
Especially
here.
on this somber day today, if you're aware, we're filming on a day that happens to be the anniversary of the Saugus High School shooting. And I know that your company, your restaurant, is on the front lines with Saugus Strong and supporting families that just had to come and eat and be together. And that's part of what you spoke to about this family is strong, this community is a strong family community. And so I think that comes back when we go through tough times, we're always going to stick together. So I'm excited to be able to see as things progress that we come back together and come back stronger. What are some of the things that you'd like to see from lawmakers in support or let them know is happening at your level as a small restaurant?
I'm sorry. I stayed a little choked up on your Saga Strong comment. The community, people that we've lost, we're all here together for such a tragedy. With that being done said, what was your question again? I'm sorry.
What would you like lawmakers to know in terms of coming into this next session about the funding that you received through the PPP? Did it make ends meet? Are you seeking to get more to support and maybe rehire more people? Because we know that was only allocated for so many weeks, and now we're 8 months in.
The only thing I could ask or say, comment regarding that, it would be nice to just ask for more handouts, but that's not making it in. Regardless, the money that they provide for us, it's not enough to take care of our guys. It's not enough to pay taxes. Taxes still keep going up. We still have to pay those through. Business isn't coming in. It's just help us out. Give us a little lenience to pay stuff, to pay up taxes. Give us a little, we'll work later. No one's going nowhere. Let's try to work together right now. If the PPTs don't work out for us, let's look at something else. A little lenience on what has to be done. Less percentages at the moment. Just meanwhile things clear up.
Hey everybody, it's Selena here. I'm back now. I want to just kind of take the time to show logistically what La Cocina has done to make sure they're compliant, even in their artwork. So now I'm back with Edgar Lopez, who is the son of Amador Lopez, and he is the owner of La Taco and the La Cocina on Bouquet. So we talked a little bit with your dad about what it took to kind of remain open. You guys are a staple of our community in terms of restaurants. Your dad talked a little bit about just watching generations of families come through and grow up, and now you're a second generation owner and now a franchise. And so having gotten through COVID and still in the midst of it, we're all still compliant with the surges that have happened. Tell me a little bit about what it's been like for you, what you had to do creatively to not only maintain the employees, but maintain your business.
It's been a rocky year, right? But we just have to adapt. Luckily for us, takeout has always been a big thing. Now it just got bigger. We had to modify our system of working. We had to integrate alcohol to go. Our Cadillac margaritas got a little bit bigger for the takeout, and price went a little bit down, and that kind of helped us out too.
Sure.
But it's just been a lot of different moves that we had to do. Creative move to adapt.
Everyone had to make their sacrifices, even
Exactly.
your employees. So tell me about your employees. How many employees do you have between your truck and your location?
So Bouquet, we had 50 originally. Now we're down to 35, right? So a lot of those people are not back working. We're only working with 12 tables, We had 33 to begin with, and that's where we're at,
So some of the things coming up, obviously, is the weather's going to be changing. We have a tent outside, but now we're still dealing with the elements. So do you expect to continue? I know you have loyal customers throughout this community, and I know that they have, made it their mission to keep patronizing you as a restaurant. And how does that make you feel to know that the community feels so strongly about supporting local businesses, supporting a restaurant like yours?
Grateful and blessed. Those are the two words that could come out. Grateful and blessed.
Yes.
It's been hard for everyone,
Yes.
and for them to still be able to say, hey, let's go to La Cocina, let's have a warm meal, and we put up these tents, we put up these heaters, but it's not 100%.
Sure.
You're not in the comfort of a home, of our home, your home.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, we feel grateful and blessed that they're still coming and visit us, and we're gonna do anything possible to keep going strong for you guys,
And I think it's ironic that this episode will be right around Thanksgiving, and so I'm imagining that you're thankful and your families that you employ are thankful. And so today is a somber day, anniversary of the Saugus shooting. I know we have kids that attend Saugus, and you were on the front line of supporting the Saugus Strong families. And so it speaks to the fact that this community and businesses in this community have gotten through tough times, and they stick together.
Definitely.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. And so your other son, I know, has another restaurant. So you have a couple of generations, and then you mentioned you have grandkids working for you. So what's that like? That's full circle as well, that you have another generation in your family working for you and keeping that going.
Correct.
Yeah.
This is the way I planned it a long, long time ago, and it's becoming a reality. Actually, it's always, it's already a reality
Yes.
that my life went through.
Even in the hard times. It's a
Yes,
beautiful
even
life.
with the hard time, and like my son says that it's not easy. It's not been easy, but we're doing the best we can to keep our customers happy, to have them back to our businesses,
Sure.
and we appreciate their businesses.
I want to
Yes.
get a little bit into what it's taken to sustain. I know we talked a lot before about the PPP program, and we've had to have our employees on unemployment, off again, on again. And so coming into this next session, and this platform is really to help employers have a voice. And part of that mission for me is to make sure that I lend to that voice and as my area of expertise. And I know we're looking at more funding into the PPP program, and I know that there were some disaster loans through SBA. As an employer, as a business, what are some of the things that you would want lawmakers in Sacramento and at the federal level to know about these programs and how that needs to make ends meet? What would you like to see?
I would like to see, and I don't know much about it, right?
Sure.
Just like a lot of people. I called my banker at one point, and he straight told me that, this restaurant business got hit the hardest, and it's the hardest to integrate the PPP platform into the structure of a restaurant business. We as this type of business, we depend on our community, and if our community is not doing well, then we're not doing well. So I would like for them to maybe pinpoint an arrow in our industry. Our industry, there's so many little businesses, and
Fall in the cracks.
yeah, and when this hit the fan,
Yes.
all of us, all these little grains of sand made this big impact on the economy of our nation. So I would like, I can't pinpoint what we need, but I just focus on us, and because just in these little places, there's a lot of mouths that
And families.
depend, and families that feed from here.
Yeah.
Not only our customers, God bless them, but our employees, and we have a large amount that aren't back working.
That breaks your heart, obviously.
It does, but what can we do?
Sure.
So
And most of them, they're only working part-time.
yes,
They're not working full-time, so
Yeah.
it's hard. It's hard for them. But we thanks them that we still got them, and we
So
keep going.
I definitely think in terms of advocacy from my level and in terms of making these concerns known is that in the industries such as travel and airlines, they receive bailout money. I think later as we progress, we'd like to have some sort of bailout for that industry as well. And speaking to that, as a small business owner and restaurant that falls in that crack that depends on that local economy for their own economy. So I definitely want to make sure that we highlight that in this episode, along with the gratitude that you do have, because we can do both, right? We
course.
still have gratitude, we're still thankful, but in that we still have a voice. So I want to thank you both for taking the time to give us those details as a stakeholder in this community, we appreciate that you've made that effort to continue to serve and support, and that's to be commended. So in this Thanksgiving episode, I thank you both.
Thank you, Selena.
We thank you, Selena, to give us the opportunity to express ourselves the way we are doing business. Thanks a lot.
And thank you, everyone in Santa Clarita.
Hey everyone, Selena. I am back here now set to talk to the owners of Thelma's Morning Cafe, the Diaz family. I am outside, and of course, as you can see, the logistical changes they made to get through 2020. Looking forward to talking to them about that, and of course, what they look forward to into 2021 on this Thanksgiving episode, and I'm excited to share their story. Hey everyone, Selena here, back with the Diaz family, the owners of Thelma's Cafe. Thank you so much for taking the time, Ronnie and Mr. Diaz, to talk to me today about what it's been like to keep Thelma's open, what it's been like for you to get through COVID, and of course what you're looking forward to in January and the future in terms of your company and how you're going to continue to bring this great food to our community. I have been on all your social media, and I know that you have people come from far and wide to come and eat here. So it definitely is an opportunity for us to kind of shed some light on what it's been like as restaurant owners, as family-owned restaurant owners, to stay open. So definitely introduce yourself, tell everybody who you are, how long you've worked here, and then of course, you know, a little bit about Thelma.
All right. Hello, I'm Jan Luis Diaz, and chef and owner of the Thelma's Cafe. You know, we initiated this business in 2007, and then we just, you know, when I was thinking about it to open this place in 2007, I realized that there was no breakfast around here. And then I say, well, it might be a great idea to do it. You know, even though I have a background experience of the, more like a gourmet style food. And I let my son to, you know,
Beautiful.
to see what's.
Yeah, so I'm Ronnie Diaz. I'm the son of Luis here. I'm in charge of operations and administrating the restaurant. My dad's a chef and the sole owner of it. Managing during these tough times for COVID has been very difficult. We've had to make some huge adjustments with employees, with salaries, with even our personal times. We've sacrificed a lot of different things. We've also taken on a lot of extra expenses, such as having to put up tents, having to add new systems to streamline things like delivery and pickup options.
Protect your customers
Exactly.
and yourselves.
Yep.
I think that's a great point. I'd love to talk about the tent because we're going to show what that looked like. And obviously, changing logistically is a challenge in challenging times. So when you realized that the weather was coming, I think I was having breakfast here and we knew the rain was coming, and then that was another layer to continuing to operate. And so tell me what that took for you, and then of course, you know, as you look forward to the changing weather, I know you have a dedicated following, and so what have you heard from people in terms of just committing to coming through that and working through the changes with you?
That's been of a concern of our customers. Is they're wondering how we're going to, you know, continue to survive under these conditions with the weather changing, like you mentioned. Well, one of the things that you know, we're being asked to do is you know, implement the heaters. So we're going to be adding some of those to our tent. We've got a bigger tent, so we can that allows us to add a few more tables
Capacity,
to the patio, correct, and expand on our capacity. So we're doing that, and then obviously our delivery option. We are using third-party partners for things like that. We currently use Grubhub and Uber Eats for our delivery services. For our carry-out services, you can order that directly from our website. It's at no cost. So we're offering those options to our customers.
That maybe people that can't visit because they want to stay in themselves can still enjoy them.
Exactly.
So I'm glad to hear that. A good breakfast for everybody. You know,
Yes,
to
thank
take the
you.
day off, great.
It's funny, I remember, you know, on December, because I did, you know, I'm not a media type. I'm an old school. That's what I always tell them, that I'm old school. But when my son, helped me up with the social media, and can see that it was a help in a big way.
Getting the word out.
Yeah.
I mean, and a lot of people, because of being shut in, have had to turn to things that they, just like you, that they wouldn't normally do because I know my dad used to just love to just get the paper, physically read the paper, and physically go. But ultimately, this has changed the way even little things like that happen in our day. So now you have a new audience that you have an opportunity to share your great cuisine with, and then of course the fact that you're family owned is so important. I think people in my travels appreciate kind of a generational operations is what you have here, and then of course having that spread into the community, it speaks to great value. So tell me a little bit about when your son started to work for you, and then of course you started to just gain a whole different attitude probably about your dad and what it took for him to build. So when he started working for you, how old was he?
It started actually like 2.5 years ago. I quit the corporate job to join the family business.
Business.
Yeah, so it wasn't until then that I joined him and I began helping him full time here. So about 2.5 years.
You realized, wow, my dad's built something.
Oh yes, and it took some time for me to get there. Eventually, I had to go through my schooling, so I was able to get my degree in business management, which opened up my eyes to this opportunity of helping him run a family business. And I look at him as a pioneer in my family, which he actually really is.
That's amazing.
So now I'm just looking to continue his legacy moving forward.
That's wonderful. I love that. And we truly have an awakening about our parents a little bit later, but when it happens, we are committed. I was the same with my dad, so what a great story. I'm glad that you shared that. And then that you took the time to be educated about what it takes. I mean, sometimes, and I know my dad would say often, like, you can't just get up there and ride. You have to know the whole process. So I'm glad to hear that you took the time to do that. And I'm glad that people know that about you, because this is, family businesses become real serious when it becomes your livelihood.
Oh,
so
yes.
you want to do that right. So I'm glad to hear that. So for you, obviously, Thelma's. Tell me about the name. Tell me about that concept, and it obviously gives you kind of a warm feeling. Even when you come in, even in these circumstances, I feel that right away.
Yeah, when I decided to, put the name on my wife on the restaurant. For me, it was like something that I gotta do it for her. And then I realized that when I named Thelma's, it was like more type of family restaurant, not like big corporate, And that's when she became a little bit more involved, because her name was there, so she wanna be part of that really big.
Brand.
And then just move on. 2007, like I said, it was a really rough year. 2008, and then. It's been a struggle from that time, but when he take over, so that I can see the big
shift and change.
Yeah, because he always told me, Dad, you survive because you're food, and that's what the main thing was for me, just to focus on the food. When he take over, so it's another different story.
Add another element to the franchise. And ultimately, would you guys want to have another location once we're past COVID and you start to see past, what's happened in this 2020? Obviously, we always start something to build on it. What are your thoughts about adding another Thelma's to our community?
Yeah, that would be ideal. That's one of my personal goals is to evidently open up another location here in Santa Clarita. We've received so much support from our community during these last few months. It's been amazing how much support we're receiving, especially from our regulars.
And that's beautiful to hear, because so many people in my travels have said that they're committed to the small businesses in this community, especially the restaurant industry that was hit so hard. So I'm so glad to hear that that's been kind of sustaining you, and just not just financially, but just in the fight to stay alive.
Exactly.
So glad you had the chance to share that. That's been important to you as well.
Absolutely.
So moving a little bit into the operations, and then of course what it's taken for you to, add. I think you talked a little bit about the, additional elements of service. Like what are some of the things you've done? I think you talked about alcohol once upon a time, and you're kind of processing that, and
Right.
adding to the vision, but obviously the ability to maintain. So tell me a little bit about
Right. So in addition to the delivery services that we did, and our online, our website and online platforms, social media pages, that's all things we've had to make adjustments to in order to continue serving our community. One of the more recent moves that we did was apply for the beer and wine license, and thankfully the city approved our application. Now it's going through another process of getting the actual license itself, and that's done through a different company.
When can we expect to see that, and what are you adding? Are you adding wine and beer?
Yes, so it is only wine and beer. It's not a liquor license, so we will, our plan is to have wine as an option. My father's cuisines go marvelously with that. Yes, his background in French and Asian cuisines, I think, would complement a lot of the wines very well. So we're going to be adding those, and for breakfast, we're planning to do the mimosas. Eventually bottomless mimosas on some days. So we're hoping to have the license by January or February, the latest. It's in process. It takes a couple months to get through all these approvals and submitting of paperwork. So once all that's completed, then we'll have the license. So right now it's in process. So we're really looking forward to that.
With your operational and educational background, to know that these things have to be done, and kind of taking that off your dad's plate, no pun intended, that's got to be huge for you to then see a whole nother vision and layer to Thelma's. So I'm rooting for you on getting that done, and I will be here for the mimosas.
Thank you.
I love that.
Yeah, one thing is, a lot of people know us for breakfast. I think probably because the name is a morning cafe, and then he's been telling me, we have to change at least the concept of morning, because I wanted to do a dinner because that's my passion. But for dinner, it's a little bit more complicated for us. So I need the support of the community to help us to see if it, how can we, vision through.
I love that. So great things ahead, still working through the challenges and changes with COVID, and then of course looking forward to eventually opening another Thelma's. So I mean, this is a bright future despite the clouds for now.
Yes.
We know that it's temporary. This is our Thanksgiving episode.
Okay.
So I certainly wanted to just allow for you to extend your thoughts about that, and of course, even through these tough times, I think the common thread in this community, which is why I love living here and love, focusing on the small businesses, is that even with those tough times, we can be grateful, we can be thankful. So
absolutely.
What are your thoughts about Thanksgiving, and what are your plans? Are there any plans? Is Thelma's going to be cooking? What can we look for?
Yeah, so we will be open on Thanksgiving Day for breakfast. Mainly, we're not opening that evening for dinner.
For your own family.
Makes sense, right? I mean, most families are going to be at home, making turkey, or maybe not this time because of the social distancing and whatnot. But
that's great to know.
yeah,
though.
we'll be open.
We
will be open. We'll be offering everything on our menu. Nothing's unlimited, even lunch if people want to order lunch for breakfast. So we will be open. And again, we're just very appreciative of the support that we're getting. We're very thankful of the support we're receiving from the community. We just hope that continues, because that's been a big part of the reason why we have been able to survive. And there have been times over the last couple of weekends for us that our sales have been almost equal to what we would have made pre-COVID. So that's been a blessing in disguise, and that again goes to show you how supportive and how tight-knit the community is, and for people like yourselves that come out and support our businesses, don't just speak it but actually do it. We're very appreciative of that, and we just hope it continues. Even if it's not in person, like we hope you go through our platforms, whether online or through delivery. We do have all those options.
Good to know that you have that, and I'm glad that you shared it, so that people can still take the time and type in and get it ordered up. So
exactly.
I want to thank you both for taking the time today. I know that I wanted to honor Thelma, even though she couldn't be here today.
Yes.
And what a beautiful family she has that has taken the time to make sure that everything is represented about her in the highest way. So I'm so
Oh, yes.
appreciative of you guys
Thank
sharing
you
your
very
story.
much.
Thank you,
Wish all the
Selena.
best.
Thank you.
Definitely keep me posted on when the mimosas and the wine
Oh, yes.
are ready, and we'd love to highlight that as well. When
Please.
you have maybe a re-grand opening, when that part is available, I would love to come back and
Okay.
share your story again.
All
So
right.
thank
Thank you.
both so
Thank
much.
you.
Appreciate you, Selena. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you to everyone else. Mhm.